We are. All, good evening, reader. Meet. What's your name? See, I again forgot your name. Your name is Reader, right? Yeah, Kushi and Anjali. Yeah, yeah. You can switch off the microphone. You can switch off the microphone. We are live on Facebook as well. People who wish to be a part of this can always be a part of this. This will be kind of a. Just a second. Yeah, this will be kind of a communication class added with a touch of grammar. We will be moving on to grammar in the later part of the presentation, but from now we will be on communication only. So I'll be presenting the screen for a bit, and let me join with the other mobile because otherwise some people might join whom I'll not be able to add. Yeah, Anjali Singh, thank you for joining. Anjali, you remember like when the pandemic was going on, both the Anjalis, uh, we used to have these classes over there only in Google Meet. During the pandemic, even the tuition classes were held on Google Meet, right? So that was a challenge, but we learned very fast. So it shows that you know when you life presents greater challenges, we are up to that as well, uh, and that is the power of humanity that is evident over here. I'll be presenting the entire screen for you, and we'll be moving on with Dale Carnegie first. I hope you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Right, right, great. So, this is the first presentation that I wanted to show you. I always keep on saying that Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People, it is actually the grandfather of all communication classes, and it happened at the start of the 20th century, but still now it is very much relevant. And not only that, I believe till the time humanity exists, it will be relevant, right? So I guess there's a sound that is coming, so I'll reduce the sound a bit. Yeah, it was the fan that was working, right? Okay. So the first formula that we are concentrating on is smile. This is, as I have told you, that is the most universal language. In fact, the only universal language that exists in the world are smiles and uh, and tears, right? So smile is the most beautiful of that. So that is why it is important that we smile. Second, always begin with a friendly way in any conversation, even if it is with an adversary, even if it is with somebody whom you do not really like, but you can always start in a friendly way, thinking that maybe the other person also has a point of view that you can learn from. Let the other person save the face. I always keep on saying, and students of my communication class know this very well, that you know uh, when we say that we listen, we actually don't listen. We judge, or we wait that person to finish so that we can speak. So we necessarily, if we have this idea to criticize somebody, we don't allow that person to save his face. We wait for that person to make mistakes so that we can pounce on them and make fun of them, adding sarcasm, adding blunt criticism. So that's not the way you can become a better communicator. You do not fight to become a better communicator. You have to be friendly to become a better communicator. No criticism, no condemnation, no complaint. We are humans, we make mistakes. I also criticize at certain times, learning slowly not to criticize, not to condemn, not to complain. Honest and sincere appreciation, not flattery. No flattery. Saying something only what that person deserves and let the other person do all the talking. You know what I personally believe is that, okay, was he added over there? The Yeah. Uh, so what I personally believe is that we don't listen to people. That's why, Anna Frank said that paper has more patience than people. So let the other person do all the talking. Listen first. You'll get your chance. It takes time, but you have to wait for your time to come. To get the best of an argument, avoid it. Most of the times, you need to avoid an argument. I am not one of those kinds. If there is an argument, I'll jump on it and try to ambush the person if he's or she is wrong. But I am also learning slowly that sometimes, you need to just walk away from an argument. If it is unnecessary, if you're talking to a fool, ask questions rather than giving orders. Do you think this will be right? Won't you like to go there? So these are the small things that matter. When I listen to somebody during a web series maybe, I try to understand what made that person use that particular word. It's very important. When you're in love with the language, when you're sincerely in love with the language, these are the things that you need to do. Ask, show respect for other people's opinions. Maybe you don't like that opinion, but you can at least say, you might have a point and I will give a thought. Always begin with praise and appreciation. And remember and use the other person's name. Yesterday in the class, I was telling you people, it is very important to name a person. Because that name is that person's identity. And that works wonders. Be genuinely interested in other people. No, I don't know like how many times I've said this during my communication classes, that it is so very important that you are genuinely interested in humanity. If you are not, I am sorry to say, you will never become a good communicator. When you are communicating with somebody, be genuinely, honestly interested in that person and try to talk what interests that person. What is his interest? And when you're wrong, try to admit it quickly and surely. Arouse an eager want within the other person. If you want to talk, I was giving the example of Shri Vajpayee the other day, the way he talked. Maybe he was saying a simple thing, but he presented in such a way that people were interested to listen. What a great orator. I've never heard somebody who spoke so beautifully, so in such an erudite fashion, wonderful speaker. Get out of the way to make people, get out of your way to make people feel important. Pride is one of the greatest human needs. So if you are kind of making a person feel important, that person will one day love you. And if that person loves you, that will be the platform of a communication where you will also get a chance to speak. Publicly praise the other person's accomplishments. It is very important because this public praise is something which we yearn for. We want that. And once somebody does that, हम तो पागल हो जाते हैं. Like we become divana of that person. It's very important. You cannot, satisfy all the people. There will be people who will be hating you. But why will you have time? Having said that, I also say that sometimes I criticize, I condemn. Maybe of only one person, but then also I do that, which is wrong. Right? But I'm also learning. Try to see things from the other person's point of view. It is absolutely important to understand what is on the other side of the river. You know what is in your mind, but what about the other person? There's one more thing, which makes us a great communicator is that do not think that communication has taken place. Judge from the non-verbal cues. Do not think what you intended to say has been understood by the listener. Make sure that you employ all the skills that you have of your words, your intonation, speaking style, giving importance to certain parts of the sentence, body language, using the hands, using your smiles, eye contact, head movement, employ everything to make that person understand what you intend to say. If you cannot do that, it's a problem, right? But don't assume it has already taken place. My students of the communication class will see this and say, sir has again started reporting sentences. But today we are going to do something different. Today we are going to concentrate on certain things. Reporting interrogatives. Is my screen visible to all of you? Can you see those yellow and reds, all those things with my logo? Great. This is the case where we always have a problem. Are you happy? This is a question mark, right? Just a second. Are you happy? This is a question. Are you happy? This is a question, right? And when you are asking this question, just a second. We'll come to that. Yeah. Are you happy? So what is at the start? Are is a verb, right? In a question, the verb comes first. You is the subject. The subject comes later. पर जब आप उसको रिपोर्ट करेंगे ना तो आर पीछे चला जाएगा, यू सामने आ जाएगा. He said, "Are you happy?" If you translate that into Hindi, what does it sound like? उसने कहा, क्या तुम खुश हो? And the answer will be, if you report it, उसने कहा कि क्या मैं खुश था. उसने पूछा कि क्या मैं खुश था. So you see the you becomes I and the R becomes was. So they interchange places because in a sentence the subject comes first and in a question the verb comes first. Now ये whether or if का माजरा क्या है? If a question excuse me, if a question can be answered with a yes or a no, तब whether या if is use होगा ask के बाद. He said to me, are you going to the party? He asked me if I was going to the party. But बाकी reporting rules normally follow होगा. Students who have joined like 2 days ago, Rita, they will not be able to understand this. So you just listen to this, right? Whatever you understand. So this is reporting interrogative sentences. The question is, what is interrogative sentences? What are interrogative sentences? Interrogative sentences are those sentences that ask questions. And if you are trying to report it, then in that case, remember the SSQV formula. Sentence mein subject aage, question mein verb aage. Right? For example, as it is given over here, he said, "Are you happy?" He asked me if I was happy. Q, because this question can be answered with a yes or a no. But if it is not so, if the question cannot be answered with a yes or a no, और एक बात याद रखना, ऊपर में right side में देखो, when you are reporting interrogative sentences, that कभी नहीं use होगा. Never will that be used. Now, if it is like a question that cannot be answered with a yes or a no, तो normal reporting rules follow होगा. खाली ये याद रखना, SSQV. He said, "Why are you busy?" Right? If it is a question, शुरू में क्या आएगा? Verb. Verb कौन सा है? Are. फिर क्या आएगा? Subject. Subject कौन सा है? You. But when you change it, it becomes, he asked me why I, जो you है वो I बन गया. Are बन जाता है was, और फिर busy तो अपने जगह पे है ही. So they interchange places in this way. Right? I hope this is understood a little bit. If it is okay, you can take a screenshot, people. Right? Is there a confusion? Is this understood? Right. Now this one is the most easy one. When it comes to reporting sentences, जब आप किसी के कही हुए बातों को किसी और को रिपोर्ट कर रहे वही तो हो गया ना reporting sentences. Now, if it is a reporting, sentences, if you're reporting sentences, this one is the easiest, right? If it is an order, it will be he ordered that. If it is a request, it will be he requested that, and so on. The boy said, "You are not allowed to go there." The boy ordered the people not to go there, right? The man said, "You cannot step on the grass." The man forbade. Forbade matlab mana karna. Forbade the people to step on the grass. The master said to the servant, "Open the window." The master ordered the servant to open the window. He said, "Can you help me, please?" He requested him to help him. This is absolutely simple. Problem imperative sentences में कहाँ पे आता है? ये let में आता है. अगर sentence मतलब statement के शुरू में let है, तब problem है. If the let is there at the start of the statement, it is a problem. If it is a proposal or a suggestion, then what happens? Then this happens, which is there on your screen. He said, "Let us go for a picnic." He proposed that they should. Let becomes should, right? Go for a picnic, right? In the second one, if let is in the sense of allowed, permission wala sense mein, he said, "Let her do whatever she likes." He said that she should be allowed to do whatever she wanted. So the first one is a proposal or a suggestion, and the second one is a permission kind of a thing. In both the cases, normal reporting rules will be followed. लेकिन अगर proposal और suggestion है, तो subject के बाद propose या suggested रहेगा tense के अनुसार. And in the second one, if you are saying, he said, "Let the boy do whatever he wants." He said that the boy might be or should be allowed to do whatever he wanted. That is how it works. Optative sentences क्या है? Optative sentences are those sentences which express a wish, right? She said to the boy, "May you live long." The teacher said, "Karan, may you get married soon." The teacher wished that Karan might get married soon, right? The may becomes might, and other normal reporting rules are followed. So there is no confusion in this particular thing. The last one is exclamatory sentences. What are these sentences? Which shows sudden show of emotion, sudden happiness or sudden sadness, right? The boy said, "What a beautiful bird." Simple. आपको लिखना पड़ेगा. The boy exclaimed with joy या exclaimed with sorrow. यहाँ पे तो joy है. The boy exclaimed with joy that it was a very beautiful bird. यहाँ पे जो what है ना, it will become very, right? यहाँ पे जो what है, it will become very. Finally, sadness. They said, "Alas, the king is dead." A few days ago, they lost the queen of England. So they said, "Alas, the queen is dead." They exclaimed with sorrow that the king or the queen was dead. लेकिन पहले वाले part में क्या होगा? When you're saying, the boy said, "What a beautiful sunset. What a beautiful story." तो जो what है ना, it will be changed into very, right? The man said, "Such a beautiful sunshine." You can say the man exclaimed with joy that it was a very beautiful sunshine. Sunshine तो नहीं होता, या तो sunset या sunrise होगा, right? So if we go a little back, we will find out. I'll just take you back a little bit. Reporting interrogatives, right? Interrogative sentences are those sentences which ask questions, right? If the question can be answered with a yes or a no, तब क्या होता है? तब asked use होता है या ask use होता है. उसके बाद एक बात याद रखना, when you are reporting interrogative sentences, that will never ever be used. So he said, "Are you enjoying your life?" He asked if I was enjoying my life. So after asked, after asked it will be the subject, then आपको put करना पड़ेगा whether या if, right? But that is only when the question can be answered with a yes or a no, right? The next one is if the question cannot be answered with a yes or a no. परंतु एक बात याद रखना, यहाँ पे the SSQV formula will be followed. Are you happy में शुरू में क्या है? R is the verb, you is the subject. But if now this is a question, जब आप रिपोर्ट करेंगे it will become a statement, and when it will become a statement तो you आगे आ जाएगा, R पीछे चला जाएगा. You आगे आके I बन जाएगा, R पीछे जाके was बन जाएगा, right? In the second one of reporting interrogative sentences, it's very easy. Normal reporting rules are followed, right? SSQV formula definitely रहेगा, right? तो उसने कहा तुम बिजी क्यों हो? It will be reported as उसने पूछा कि मैं की नहीं होगा, उसने पूछा मैं क्यों बिजी था. उसने कहा तुम क्यों बिजी हो? उसने पूछा मैं क्यों बिजी था. Because the reporting verb said is in the past tense, है ना? So here also, are you busy? R is the verb, you is the subject, right? It will become I was. तो you इधर आके I बन रहा है, R past होके was बन रहा है. This is the funda of this one. Imperative, as I told you, खाली आपको order, request, beg इत्यादि लगाना पड़ेगा. You just have to add order, request, beg after the subject. The captain told the soldiers, stop. The captain ordered the soldiers to stop, right? The next one is imperative sentences with let at the start. I suggest you have a screenshot of this. The reason being that once you have a screenshot, it will be beneficial for you to see later on, right? Make sure my logo is there. The first one is if it is a proposal or a suggestion. He said, let us go and watch a movie. He proposed that they should go and watch a movie. Or we should, sorry. Either. He said to me, let us go and watch a movie. He proposed that we should go and watch a movie. But agar proposal or suggestion nahi hai, it's like allowed. The teacher said, let the girl do whatever she wants. The teacher said that the girl might be allowed to do whatever she wanted. ये let वाला फंडा बहुत ध्यान से याद रखना. Keep a screenshot, it will help you out. Optative sentences are very simple. The may will be turned to might if the reporting verb is in the past tense, right? The holy man said to me, may you prosper in life. The holy man wished. You'll have to add wished. जैसे कि interrogative में asked, यहाँ पे wished. The holy man wished that I might be happy or successful in life. That is how it works. I hope this is clear more or less. Sorry. Is this clear more or less? Hello. Can the people hear me? Students? Right. So I hope this is more or less clear. Yeah? For the other people, is this more or less clear? Right. You know, we have a great habit in English, especially Indian English, to use the word used to in modals. We are going to get into specific modals today, only a few of them. This is the word, right? Used to किस सेंस में यूज होता है पता है आपको? मैं करता था. I used to wake up at 5 in the morning when I was a student in Calcutta. ये झूठ है वैसे, हाँ. So I used to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning when I was a student in Calcutta. This is the use of used to. The second one in modals that I need to make you understand is ought to. Ought to means you should do this. For example, you ought to eat healthy food. You ought to help the poor. Right? So in this list of modals, if we can see, you know most of the things, but this is the thing that you generally forget, right? Ought to and used to. Rest of the modals are absolutely clear. Do my children remember what is the most polite form of request in modals? And should. And should. Yeah. Would you do that for me, sir? Should I come in, sir? Should I come in, madam? Right? It is even more polite than may. And even if it is not, I would ask you to use that in your interviews. The reason being that most of the people will be talking about may and you will be talking about should and would. Right? There's a small thing that I wanted to show you. Would and could. Sorry, could. Could and should, sorry. This one is the one. Isn't it so? Do you remember this slide, people? The most polite form of permission is could and should. And would also at certain times. Do you remember this? The students of communication. Yeah. Could you help me, sir? Would you help me, sir? Could and would, sorry. I got confused because I've switched off all the fans and all, so I'm like perspiring because the sound was coming from the top, right? Anyways, could you help me, sir? Would you help me, sir? These are the most polite forms of permission. So if I take you through this, just to, refresh your memory. Can, presentability. Remember, वर्तमान काल में अगर मैं कोई काम कर सकता हूं तो उसके लिए can का प्रयोग होता है. Yes or no? Remember this? Okay, just a second. I'll just check one thing. Yeah, okay. Then comes request. Can is not a polite request. Can I help you? It's generally between friends. Permission from friends, from people of your same category. And finally, possibility, quite a strong possibility, not the strongest, is can. On the other side comes could, which is the past tense of can, right? It is the most polite, form of request. And if can is the ability in the present time, could is the ability in the past. हम लोग ना अक्सर करते हैं क्या? I played football every day last year. Right? We don't generally use used to. So a better form of modal would be I used to play football last year. I can do this now. I can, run 2 kilometers. That is your present ability. I could run 2 kilometers is something which we generally don't use. And there we make a mistake by using used to, which is not technically wrong. Parantu agar past ka habit ka baat kare, then you should use could and not used to. Used to is used in a general sense, right? Shall and will, you know it very well. Would, you know it very well. Should and must and have to. I hope you know this must and have to. That means you need to do this. I must go there. I have to go there. Child's play, simple things, you know it. The next one is may. May is a possibility in the future. It may rain. It is also a weak possibility. Should and would are stronger possibilities. If we say it would rain tonight, there is a strong possibility. And if you say it must rain tonight, it's going to rain. The clouds are already in the sky, about to burst. So this is the way. Let's just do the, thing. If we say it can rain, just a second, tonight, it is a weak possibility. If you say it might rain tonight, it is a weak possibility. If you say it may rain tonight, it is a weak possibility. But if you say it should or would rain tonight, it is a stronger possibility than the previous ones. And finally, it must rain tonight, sure possibility. Is this clear? Is this clear? This one is very important to understand. Right. So like I am in a situation where I am, kind of perspiring, and I'll just shut this off. Yeah, don't save. Okay. So what did we learn from today's class, people? Did you take a screenshot of this one? Anybody? Did I send this to the communication class ever? Take a screenshot of this. This is the Bible of your communication strategies. Taken? Whatever we do in the class, whatever we present in the class, whatever we try to project in the class, it all comes down to these simple things. Oh, I see that Deepti has also joined. Who is Anisha Singh? Anisha Singh, hello. Who is Anisha Singh? Anyways, doesn't matter. So this was a 30-minute session, around 35-minute session. And I would also like to thank people who have joined me on Facebook as well. Thank you very much for joining. God bless you. And for my... No, wait.